A
Yeah,
lot has
man.
been going on in the world of the
Really?
internet.
Really?
Yeah, I was looking at the whole. I was watching the TikTok fiasco that's been going on. I always love watching these Senate hearings. There's one for
Oh,
Silicon Valley Bank. Have you seen that one? We'll come to it.
oh,
Yeah, there's. It was last night, I think, or day before last, night before. It was live. At around 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock my time,
mm-hmm.
and I was like, it was happening live, and I think it went for 2.5 hours. So
Wow.
the chairman of Silicon Valley Bank, all the big dicks, from Silicon Valley Bank, they're all there, and Congress was asking them all kinds of like stupid fucking questions, and like it was just like the whole thing was it sounded like a setup. Like I don't know, maybe they are worried. There are a lot of senators who are actually worried, but it sounded like a setup. Sound like they're just saying, guys, let's just do the deed, and just put up a show, just make sure that we're asking all each other all these questions, we're doing our due diligence, and then we'll wash our hands of this, and then we'll just go back to doing our old shit, fucking stealing other people's money and just burning down all these banks, right? Because fuck it, right? Who cares? Um,
Yeah.
and at the same time, it's been also, I'll watch it and I'll talk about it. But I watched it for good 15, 20 minutes. I mean, it was a complete, I wouldn't call it a shit show, but it looked like that it was just like premeditated questions they were asking. Like the lawyers knew exactly, they had a bunch of fucking lawyers sitting in the back, man. This guy was just sitting there. He's like, yes, the guy asked him a question, like a senator, that, oh, so how can we make sure that this doesn't happen? Like, fuck off, man. Like it's happened so many times already. Like, so that's that. The other one was the TikTok one, and there's all these comments and memes that he's good looking compared to all the other CEOs. Okay, Asian fella. He's from Singapore, and he
Okay.
Chinese Singaporean, and he is the CEO of TikTok. So he was
Oh,
summoned at Congress, and Congress asked him, like,
wow.
dude, the kind of question that they ask you, that's like just so fun to watch, right? This congressman asked him, so you're telling me that the CCP does not have access, to all the information that's in TikTok? And he's like, Senator, I'm not aware of anything. You're thinking to yourself, like, what are you guys talking about, man? Like, I mean, it's just weird. The question that they're asking, everybody knows what the answer is. And this guy is sitting here and he's giving you all these bogus answers. The fact is this, that whatever, I mean, Russell Brand probably gave the best comment on it. He said, the fact that TikTok is doing it, you think other companies are not doing it? They're doing the exact same
Exactly.
thing. So
Exactly.
the whole thing is a farce because if you think about it, the only reason they picked out TikTok is because it is a Chinese company and they're not
Yeah.
getting a. And the theory that I think I agree with his observation, Russell Brand, he said that they want that piece of the pie. You got the cake, you're making all this money, you got like millions of people using TikTok, all this revenue is coming in, we want a piece of the pie. Because his company is located in China, right? That's what's going on. And the app is coming on these wires of the internet. It's flowing into America, and Americans are using it. They're making fuck all money from it. There's no revenue.
Really?
They want a piece of the pie. That's what it
Mm.
is. Why do you think YouTube and Google and all these companies, when they go into China, Facebook, the Chinese government, works with them. They try to come to some kind of a deal or understanding, and it always breaks apart. It's because the money part, money and control and money. They not only want to control the content, they want money as well. Whereas in America, it's mostly the money. Control, I don't
Oh,
give a flying fuck. Like what are you putting on there?
oh, I think there is
Because
control, but
control in that sense that if tomorrow they want to take down some videos, I'm sure TikTok will comply. They're not bringing TikTok into Congress because of that reason. They're just trying to create this news and this, uh, create this hot air basically, for the public to understand. Okay, look, TikTok is a problem. They're a Chinese company. They're stealing our data. They're trying to create this whole narrative around it, and that
mhm,
narrative will only um, continue to become more and more fearful. The way they're
right.
playing this. Unless I think TikTok goes like, guys, all right, let's, how about we pay our taxes here? How about we open up an office here? we establish it,
I think they
have
have
some
an
kind of
office.
deal.
No?
They have an office where I guess if you want to advertise on TikTok, you reach out to TikTok America and they will advertise. But the bulk of the revenue, a huge amount of revenue, is going back to China, right? Because it's a Chinese company. It's like Facebook, right? I mean, if Facebook opens up in India, although India has such a huge population, or YouTube is in India, most amount of money is still in dollars. I mean, all the revenue and the taxes they're paying, they've moved from America some of their operations to Ireland, right, to save taxes, right? Yeah, yeah. It's
It's
because,
not
and
even
then
going to US.
correct, and the Americans, what they're doing is they're trying to accommodate these people by saying, all right, let's do a deal, let's see, okay, maybe you can work
Right.
with us or whatever. So there are companies like Microsoft and all that still have to pay majority of their tax in America. So obviously the big tech companies, they have huge amount of lobbies in Capitol Hill, right? And they're basically pushing this idea that, you know what, we don't want competition. The problem is with TikTok, it's not even the money component. It's actually the competition. What is happening is that, think about it, right? It is not about the American audiences. It's about this. At the moment, Instagram, which is owned by Facebook, was the market leader when it came to short form content like photographs and Snapchat and all that. TikTok comes in, they're taking all that business, right? And they're not stealing business within America, they're stealing that business around the world. Around the
Mm.
world, people are reducing the amount of usage they have on Instagram and increasing the amount of usage on TikTok. So all that revenue, all that money is going to China. It's not going to America anymore. So what
Mm.
America is trying to do is trying to shut down TikTok in America, not just Facebook. The entire
Mm.
lobby, the entire lobby is they will be happy if there is no competition in
Yeah,
their country.
but isn't TikTok banned in many countries? Like I'm sure it's banned in India.
And I think that again is for a political reason, right? I feel it's for a political reason. It's
Yeah,
banned in
because
India.
again, the whole TikTok sensation, TikTok
Correct.
act. So this is what's interesting, eh? That the biggest consumers of content is coming from India.
Yes, India, that whole subcontinent, Bangladesh, India, Nepal, all these countries have a huge amount of population.
Dude,
Pakistan.
like
Yeah.
I was looking for a recipe. I wanted to make some lahmacun. You know
Hmm.
lahmacun?
No, no. What's lamb? Is it lamb something? Or?
It's like a Turkish pizza, like the
Acha.
meat, like
Okay.
manaish,
Yeah, yeah,
uh,
yeah.
but Turkish. And this lady was like, she had hundreds and thousands of views, and like she's like, oh, I thought that we are the only country that uses a lot of onions, and but a lot of my Indian followers started telling me, oh, you're not the only one using a lot of
I think
onions.
I know you which one. That chubby lady. She makes
Yeah,
breakfast as well, and
yeah,
she has a very nice. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah. She's
yeah.
very nice, very
So,
good.
so a lot of content is being was consumed in India.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
A
And
lot of it.
internationally as well. International content that is being
Yeah,
consumed.
but the chunk of it, like a million billion people and
Yeah,
growing.
and growing. Correct. इसी के लिए मैं तेरे को बोल रहा है कि अपन लोग ये podcast कर रहे हैं. We should mix it up. Talk about everything. But I think the problem is
Oh,
that I still feel when I listen to all those podcasts in India, Pakistan, and all that, because I consume because of the language, कि अभी भी उसमें बहुत ज़्यादा मटेरियल है जो कवर नहीं हो रहा है. There's so many things they just don't talk about. It's just that maybe their audience does not even know. They're still in the mainstream, if you know what I mean, right? They'll talk about the mainstream tech and they'll talk about mainstream movies and they'll talk about mainstream events. And even when it comes to the paradigm,
yeah.
the idea of understanding कि हम इसके अंदर हैं, right?
Right.
हमें इसके अंदर रखा गया है, and we are trying to get out of it, increase the size of the your knowledge, right?
Yeah.
Expand that. वो concept is still not there. It's still driven by just consuming content,
Okay.
you know so coming back to the whole TikTok thing, I feel that TikTok is one of the first tech companies in social media that has broken that social media oligopoly. They had Twitter, they had Facebook, okay, and Facebook kind of bought all the Instagram and all this other stuff, right? And that was basically running the entire content, social media stuff in America.
So you're
And
saying the Chinese are giving competition in social media?
Chinese are not creating competition, right? And yes, it is working with the state. State, there's no doubt. The state has a play in it, no doubt, in terms of they control what can be said, what cannot be said. At least about China, they have control, right? Whether they use it for nefarious things like rigging elections or trying to influence elections, ye wo, that's a different story. But then that's the same question you can pose to other platforms. क्या other platforms नहीं कर रहे? So, but when it comes to America, it's like that movie that we watch, No Man's Land. You think I'm the guy with the gun, right? You understand? The thing is, you've gone into their land and you've gone through this virtual, electrical lines, telephone lines, and you created this TikTok thing, which जिसका जो रूट है, जो हेडक्वार्टर्स है वो चाइना में है. अब आप एक दूसरी कंट्री में जा रहे हैं and you creating this content जो एक very
But that's
addictive.
what US does.
That's what US is doing. So, but obviously they're trying to. But I was very impressed. कि जिस तरह के they asked all these questions and the answers were very calculated, and you could really tell the difference between the Silicon Valley Bank hearing and this hearing. This hearing was raw, bro. It was like that fucking Godfather Part Two kind of shit going on. Like where they're trying to make him feel like what he represents, his
Mm.
company as to what he represents, the people he represents. In a very subtle way, it also sounded very, what do you call, not racist, but there was subtle sprinkle of it.
My
It's
God.
like, because the thing is, guy is Asian, right? He's from Singapore,
Okay.
right? So he looks like, Chinese. If nobody told me that he's Singaporean, my first time would be, well, he's Chinese. So thing
Oh,
is that
look at
when
you,
he's on
Mr.
screen,
Racist.
when he's on screen, he represents his
Oh my
company from,
God.
and whenever they mentioned they mentioned the party, they kept mentioning the CCP.
Yeah. He
The
looks
stu
Asian.
the CCP, they kept mentioning CCP. They didn't say China. They didn't say, well. They kept talking about the establishment. कि China में establishment जो है वो control करती है
Hmm.
सारा कुछ. It's very interesting, and you could feel the entire room. The entire room is there, and everybody's on edge. Fucking the kind of questions they're asking, and this guy sitting there in the middle of it, he
It's
really
it, guys,
did a very good
guys,
job.
hold on, hold on, hold on. It is a play. Like you need to understand this. This is all drama. Like everybody knows what's going on.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But I think that they are
Yeah.
paying a lot of tax in taxes. Also, they're paying a lot to America as well, so they can't get
But
rid of them. Yeah,
everybody knows what's going on. US does it with their social media. As long as they do it, so as long as they do it, it's okay to their own people. Are you tracking us? Uh, I don't know. Maybe I
maybe,
have to
maybe,
check.
but for your safety, for your safety, they're
Mhm.
trying to keep you
But
safe.
but 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 if American companies do it, then it's okay. If Chinese does it, then it's not okay because now you're using American data, right? But what about the Americans using the international data? So there's a little bit of hypocrisy in the whole thing. That's why everybody's laughing. Like like the reason you're bringing it up is because it's hilarious. Because
This
this
is
thing is
drama, bro.
staged.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
staged. Like I don't know, man. To me, I think uh, if a lot of Gen Zs are making money off it, a lot of hot chicks, a lot of young guys, a lot of content creators. That's how they make money nowadays. So I saw this meme. I love memes. My news comes from memes. I do not I've for the past 2 weeks. That's why whenever you were telling stuff, I'm like, okay, I know a little bit of it, but now I don't know much details about it because I'm not watching it. Because I just watched the meme. I'm like, okay, this is happening. You know, as China made Saudi and Iran come together.
Iran, you mean?
Eh,
Yeah.
yeah. And then there's a Kenyan president or prime minister saying to his people that, hey, you have a dollar, be careful. In a week, in couple of weeks, it's gonna be less value. Uh, and then the meme comes out, this meme of this kid, this guy, you know, sitting, like leaning down next to a grave. There's this meme of this guy who was like doing a peace sign or something next to a grave, like, yo.
Yeah,
Uh, so they use that, put Xi Jinping's face on it. Then Putin comes out of one side, and there's Modi behind it. And in the RIP, on the stone, uh, there's a dollar sign. I'm like,
yeah,
oh, okay, okay, I get that. I
yeah, yeah,
understand that. Because we are at that stage, talking is useless. Like,
yeah,
you get what I mean? It's like, people are so attached to their ideologies and their beliefs. Like, it's like talking to a Muslim guy, you know? When you talk to Muslim guys, say, we live in modern times, let's find a good solution,
yeah, yeah.
No, we need to do it this way. Or you talk to a Hindu nationalist, uh, the Hindu nationalists are as crazy as the jihadists, or
Mm.
even the leftists, like the trans LGBTQ people. Like, you can't have a conversation. I saw a video of these LGBTQ trans people like a couple of years ago, like in a protest, and these guys were barking. Wow, wow, wow,
Mm,
wow,
mm,
wow.
mm.
Like, some people are counter protesting.
Literally barking,
Yeah, they were like, oh,
making
oh,
barking
oh.
sounds.
Yeah, you can check it. It's like, when I saw this, I'm like, wow, there's no point. There's no point talking. It's like, so I'm into memes now. Uh, and
That's the way,
it's
bro. This is where the reality sits, and that's where meme sits. Meme sit in this
or
another
memes.
hyper reality.
Right. So I have this theory, like how the Egyptian civilization died. You see all these memes, the hieroglyphics. Those are the Egyptian memes.
Mm,
So this is what's happening with the American civilization right now, as they're making the value of your hard work useless every day, every fucking day.
yeah,
Anything you work is useless because it's
yeah,
useless. It's
yeah,
not, you cannot do any savings. Like, you save money and it's
yeah,
gone, unless you're like a big celebrity or you have this crazy amount of business, um, and then you're making so much money. But how many people, like, we understand one thing in statistics, in reality, in physics, and all these kind of things. Like, a lot of people will try to do the same thing. Only few will make most of it. The rest will just suffer. Like, over here in Canada, there are a lot of real estate agents. There are only few real estate agents who actually are making a lot of money, but most of them don't make shit. This is, you know, it's
yeah,
it's human. I don't know. It's the universe's law. I have no specific. I don't know a specific way to explain it to you, but simply, that's what I feel like. All this is theater. So I look at it as a reality TV.
yeah. I mean, I was listening to this. There's this one guy, Ziauddin Sardar. He
Mm.
is a British Pakistani, so I think at a very young age he moved to Britain, and he is a polymath. So he's got multiple degrees, very educated academic guy. He he came up with this idea of post-truth, the idea that we're living in a time where truth does not matter anymore. You
Yeah,
could
I
make a
told you
tweet.
in Bill, but
Correct,
in
that's what you're feeling.
2000,
Yeah.
2018, Bilderberg, agenda for 2018, Bilderberg was the post-truth world.
Yeah.
This is when the fake news, fake news, fake news became so common. Oh,
Yeah.
you are fake news. Oh, you are fake news. There's a whole
Cancel,
meme
cancel,
chat.
cancel. Yeah. Yeah.
No, there's a meme channel on Instagram called Fake News Network. I believe that
Mm.
more than
It's like the Onion. You remember the back in the day, we used to have the Onion News, the Onion Network,
Uh,
and it was just sarcastic jokes, right? That is in form in a content. It kind of makes fun of the news business. That's the whole idea of the Onion Network back then.
but
But
you
now
know
it's
why?
becoming a reality. Yeah,
But do you know why Twitter was bought by Elon Musk? What actually made him buy it? So there's something called Babylon Bee. It's like a Christian onion,
yeah, yeah,
like
yeah,
a
yeah.
Christian. It's
I
an
know. I've seen
onion.
it. They have a good YouTube channel. Yeah, yeah, I've seen it.
So these guys were uh, canceled on Twitter, and Elon Musk was already, on
Already there.
Twitter. Trump was not there. He was the most followed guy over there, and he loved Babylon Bee. And when he saw, oh shit, even the satire is being,
Banned.
canceled. So, so what they had to do now is they made another website. It's called Not the Bee.
Yeah. The
Okay,
same
so
Babylon Bee people.
yeah, same people have another website called Not the Bee. That's actual news that looks like satire.
Ah, okay, okay, okay. Yeah, I know, man. It's just crazy. But I think all of this will eventually not all of it, but this idea of canceling, eventually people will give up because once good platforms come back, like Twitter, if it gets restored to its former glory, actually it never had a former glory, but it gets revamped into what successfully into what it needs to be, which is open newspaper for the world. Anybody can report about anything that they can see and they want to share, and
But they
nobody
have
without fearing
Substack
of
for
getting
that.
cancelled.
So there's
Yeah,
Substack.
yeah, yeah. But I think, man, Substack kind of is a bit like a Ponzi as well. The problem
Oh.
with yeah, man. The problem with Substack
Like
is that
you follow the
Substack is
journalists.
good. Yeah, Substack is good if you follow a journalist and you know this is their link. That's fine. But it does not have that discoverability aspect at the
Oh,
moment. The search part is not there. Like, let's say, what if I want a certain kind of news? Like, let's say I want to know what
yeah,
is
like
happening,
current news.
current news, what's happening, and in terms of a zone. Like let's say when the Qatar World Cup was happening, apart from Twitter, I could not get any underground source. Some hidden journalist who's working in Qatar and is reporting. There was a guy, I can't remember his name, but he used to be in Bahrain, I think, and
Mm,
he was an underground reporter. And back then, we used to have blogs, WordPress. We
uh,
used to have blogs, and he used to secretly
dinosaurs.
yeah, dinosaur shit. He used to secretly blog about all the worker right problems and all the stuff that was happening against the Shia community in Bahrain. And he had his symbol as a fish, one of those Bahraini fishes, like Hamur kind of fish, right? He had that as his logo, and a lot of people wanted to know who he was. They never caught him.
Hamur is grouper.
I think it's a
Grouper.
grouper. Yeah, if you think about it, it's
Uh,
a kind of a grouper. Yeah.
uh, uh.
So I think yeah, this whole TikTok thing, Twitter, I mean, dude, I think it's just about power play. It's just a power play. So now, moving on from that, actually thinking about that whole TikTok thing, clean influencers. So I was watching
Oh
news the
yeah.
other day, and they were talking about how on YouTube I was watching some shitty video, and they're talking about how like they were showing these people from their TikTok channels who have these TikToks about cleaning. They just shoot themselves cleaning, like getting the scum off the fucking bathtub. Someone fucking took a shit, and there's a poop stain somewhere. They're scrubbing that off. Using a toothbrush to clean things and folding bed sheets and tidying up the wardrobe, and people just sit there and watch that, and they make
Yeah.
money from this. There's income in that.
No, it's content. I
But
saw.
but but what is the value of the content? That's what I'm trying to understand. Is it the calm? You feel calm? It's like I used to watch a lot of those videos where these guys to clean their driveways with power washing, power washing
No,
videos, cleaning the roof
ASMR.
tiles and all that. Yeah, yeah, ASMR. I don't know whether it's ASMR or not, but thing is
It
just some
is.
guy lowing. Yeah, maybe. What is ASMR again? What does it mean?
You see these videos of like just, you know,
But it's very sound based, right? You can hear all
yeah,
the
it's
sound
like
and everything.
sounds or like some
Yeah, yeah,
cutting or
yeah,
some
yeah.
things being built
But
because
it's done very
human.
slowly and everything,
So,
very in a calm way.
in my uneducated analysis of this, is that humans have been doing this for years. It's in our instinct to do repetitive stuff, you know, and most people don't have to do that now, so they just watch other people do that. I know a guy, he's a van life guy on YouTube. He does like film production as well, and he has this amazing van life channel. And all he shows is like he goes into the winter. He has this nice Mercedes Sprinter van, or like a cheap Volkswagen van where he started, and he uses either one of them, and he has all these tools, different tools, and like he goes in the blizzard and um, in the blizzard and Yukon territory, you know, and then he goes is like talks for a little bit, and then he sets up everything and then starts cutting stuff, cooking food. He doesn't
Yeah,
even
yeah.
say
Proof
anything. He's
content.
just
Just
cutting.
doing things.
And like you look at the videos, the stuff when they're talking and they're showing stuff has less views than the ones where they're not talking. So I've seen some videos where there's they're building cabins. So they go find one part of like, oh, I like this place. I will be coming here more often. I have some time. I don't know what I'm gonna do next, so I'm gonna build a cabin here, right? So they start building a cabin, and so a lot of people are watching that, and those videos are going viral because oh, how do you survive in like -20? What do you need? It's like I'm telling you, it's this prepper gene. It's like people are watching towards that.
Yeah, yeah. So there
Hey,
are videos in even in Pakistan. There are these people who have quit their jobs and gone back to the village where they actually hail from, and they started doing all these cooking videos. And sometimes they'll show you the farm, they'll show you the trees, they'll show you the tube well, the water irrigation system or whatever. And on top of that, they will do it really in a traditional manner. Like they will put some wood, they'll light it up, and then put a big kadai on it and put a wok or something, get some meat curry going. But on top of that, it's even happening in Russia. I've seen a couple of Russian channels where they get this huge carcass of a lamb,
yeah,
and they show you the full lamb, before they cook it, and then they
there's
put it in the
Mongolia,
oven and stuff. Yeah, Mongolia,
there's
Uzbekistani people.
Mongolia,
Yeah,
there's oh, yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
ah,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then
So I
it's like
think, yeah, and like I think, yeah, cooking an entire goat or cooking an entire this farm chickens or whatever, and cooking it into a. I saw this one video where this guy he actually built an oven
mm,
with bricks and concrete and everything, and then he shoved wood into it. He chopped wood, put wood into it, put on fire, and then he put a huge fucking rice dish with bunch of like legs of goat, and he had what do you call sultanas in there, and carrots and like very yummy stuff. Right? I think I'm fasting at the moment, so I'm thinking too much of food.
oh,
But
okay. So, but I saw this one. There's this guy who's like a lawnmower guy.
that's what I'm saying. It's like lawn mowing videos. That's
Yeah,
ASMR, I
yeah.
think.
So
Yeah.
he goes to people and say, "Hey, listen, I looked at your yard and I want to mow it for free."
For free. Yeah, yeah.
And the
They
guy's
just
like,
record
"Really?
everything.
Why,
It's like,
why do you want to do it?"
why?
Like,
Yeah,
so
that's
I
it,
think
man. Yeah,
I think when people don't get enough work, they go, "Okay,
YouTube
you know what? I'll
side
do
hustle.
some work, make a video, put it out there, and people are watching it."
Yeah, people are watching a lot of content, but I'm not sure whether this and the audience is growing. Because if you look at our podcast that we started, right? I showed it to someone the other day. They were thinking about they're in two minds whether they should do a podcast or not. Not a podcast. They just want to do 5-minute videos and put it on YouTube to help their business. And I said you should do it. And the person was like, well, I'm not sure, is this and that and this. And I was like, look, what are you doing? Is you're that person who's like, I'm gonna go to gym, I want to lose weight, but before that, I want to get the right kind of shoes. I'm gonna get the right kind of kit happening. I'm gonna go and suss out everything. You're all excited about getting everything in line before you actually go and do the fucking exercise. I said, like, dude, you just need to jump in, just do it. And the guy still was not like sure, like what I'm saying, because obviously I'm giving him this advice that he should do it, encouragement, but I actually have not told him that I have a podcast I'm on, and I've not told anybody about it actually. And then I just showed it to him. I said, dude, if you want some motivation, there you go. I've done some episodes. Nobody's watching it, just a couple of views here and there. But the idea is that I'm happy doing it. Like I'm learning new things from it. So I encourage you. You should do it. And the guy was just complete blown away, taken aback by the idea. Like
Really?
this guy
Huh.
is not just sitting there and giving me advice. He actually's fucking done it. You know what I mean? There's a lot of difference. So I think that there's this amazing book that was recommended by Joe Rogan. There's a website, jrelibrary.com. You can go there and you can look at all the books that Joe Rogan has mentioned or in his different podcasts by different people. And they have a
Mm.
list of the most mentioned books as a separate on their website. So basically, if you want to start reading books, you read those first. So he's got about 15 books in there. उसमें एक किताब है उसका नाम है The War of Art by Stephen Pressfield. The War
War
of
of
Art.
art or
It's
art
based
of
on the art. No, no. It's based on the art of war. The
war,
book.
war
Yeah.
of art.
It's a wordplay on that. The War of Art. Okay.
Okay.
And a lot of stand-up comedians read that. A lot of artists read that. It's basically by this guy who is a very good Hollywood screenwriter. He's also published a couple of books, and he wrote a lot of historical battles. Those kind of books. He's written about the Romans and the Greeks and all that. And he studied
Hmm.
that how these people disciplined themselves and the 300 the movie the battle.
Yeah.
He wrote a book about his name is I think Fire at the Gates. That's the one. It's a very popular book in historical fiction, and it's a great
Hmm.
book. They didn't make a movie out of it. I don't know why, but it's apparently an amazing book. So he wrote this book, The War of Art, and it basically talks about, in a very layman terms, that there's something known as resistance. When you are in your bed and you need to get up and go somewhere, that feeling of that telling you in your mind that it's okay to stay in that blanket, it's okay to sit on your ass and do nothing, it's okay because your friend told you that there's no point doing it. All these things that come in your life when it's stopping you from doing something, it is resistance, this force that if you it can bury you. So I could see literally when he was sitting on that couch and he's telling me, oh, I'm thinking whether I should do it or not. That is exactly what's happening to that guy. That guy is going through resistance. So Joe Rogan first mentioned it, and then he brought the author on to talk about it. And I've been listening to the audiobook on the phone. It's a 2-hour book. You can get it on Audible or whatever, and I listened to it, and I think it's available on free on YouTube as well. But it's a brilliant book, and Robert McKee wrote the foreword, the introduction
Hmm.
for that book, the screenwriter.
Okay.
And Robert McKee का जो introduction है, he says in that introduction that this book was written for me because I'm the laziest motherfucker in the world. Like nobody is more lazy than me. So it's there are a lot of these motivational self-help books out there which I just think they're marketing, just marketing. But this Stephen Pressfield book, it's very thin, to the point, and it just tells you that what are the different things that will stop you from doing what you need to do, and you just need to do it. So I think there are a lot of people out there that who are watching other people do something that is giving them relaxation and
Right.
giving them calmness. But what they're forgetting is that they can, rather than depend on someone else, think about it. You've outsourced your calmness, your meditative, that feeling, that chemical that flows, from your brain into your body. When you watch these videos, they've outsourced it to someone else. Now you're addicted to these videos in order to get that calmness and meditation. You cannot at a will, like a Jedi, just sit there and just, go, okay, I want to meditate. Because you've outsourced that to someone else. Because even meditating and trying to create that serenity, that calmness, or whatever that feeling, there is a reason why clean influencers and ASMR videos, all that exists. Because those people, rather than try to find a hack, rather than try to rejig their mind to figure out, okay, how can we achieve it? at any time. It's a superpower to be able to be calm and to just shut everything off and just kind of just focus inwards. How do you do that? So I think that that's it's a good thing that they have these videos on YouTube, but I think it disables you from being able to meditate and be calm yourself. Don't you think?
I mean, this might sound a little weird, but
Coming from you, bro, it has to be weird.
so I have a feeling that yeah. So I have this feeling that uh things we are spending more time watching shit.
I'm not doing anything. It's like you sit there, watch all those Stanley Kubrick and Nolan movies, but don't take any action as to when are we going to create our own piece of work or something like that.
No.
Yeah. So, actually, pivoting away from that now, I want to talk to you about a couple of things. So, I want to just keep us on track. Um, the protests that are happening. Actually, you know what? Before we talk about the protests in France, the skull of Satoshi. Have you looked into it?
Mm, no, actually, I didn't.
Yeah, that thing turned into a
I'm,
meme. So, since you're a meme fella, you know,
yeah,
yeah.
the problem is I'm not into fucking crypto bro memes. So
No, but thing is, I think it kind of went mainstream. It went outside the realm of
really?
Bitcoin. Yeah, 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 it went
Hmm.
outside the Bitcoin realm and just completely went into this whole finance thing. And the weird part is this, right? The guy who created Ripple, it's a shitcoin. The owner gave Greenpeace, which basically does all these campaigns, to I think you know Greenpeace, gave them all this money to create some kind of campaign to change the code of Bitcoin from
Hmm.
proof of work to proof of stake, which is what Ethereum is, which is what makes all these coins shit coins. Because what you're doing is you go to a computer and you say, oh, you know what, I don't want 20 million coins, let's make it 40 million. You just press a button, boom, it turns into 40. So you don't have to do
Right.
anything to, yeah. But when it comes to Bitcoin, in order to create a Bitcoin, you need to spend energy. You need to use electricity, right? Now,
Mm-hmm.
they've started this campaign where they created this green Satoshi, what do you call, I'll
Sure. Yeah, I will be asking questions about this. I have no clue.
let's have a look, man.
The
The
fucking
skull of Satoshi.
the coin religions.
They're all religions, man. Yeah. Uh,
The,
can you see it? Come. It's taking forever.
the skull of Satoshi.
There
Hmm.
you go.
There you
Sparks debate on Bitcoin's impact, right? So skull of Satoshi, yeah, this is the one. Says he was wrong about Bitcoin mining. So the guy created it, and people started DMing him. So you look at this one. I'll open it. So
go.
this is what they created. Okay, and they use different kind of graphic cards,
Hmm.
all the different graphic cards and GPUs to create this. They use all this electrical wiring and to kind of say that it uses all this hardware and all this energy and all this plastic to create Bitcoin, to give it that evil medieval kind of a feeling to it.
Hmm.
So it happened. I think he's a Canadian, the guy who did it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Won Wong. Okay, and he got smashed with all the DMs, from all over the world. People telling him, "Look, bro, I think you have a wrong idea about what you're doing. You care about the environment, but you're in the wrong hands because these fuckers, right? It is just a ploy to use your artistic integrity from one guy who makes a shit coin to stop another coin. That's all it is. And you're just a piece of the puzzle. You're just a pawn in this." And he's now obviously kind of looked at what people are saying and realized it and kind of said, all right, um, I think
I,
maybe
s-
I need to
I, s-
rethink.
I still don't get what you're talking about. I sound like a boomer right now, but
Yeah, but do,
fuck
do you
you.
un- do you understand what is proof of work or no? Okay, so what the what the skull is doing. This is the guy. I think yeah, this fella here.
Oh yeah,
He was the one
yeah.
doing it. Okay. So
Mhm,
just to keep this short, about they created all these memes. There's all these memes now. Skull of Satoshi memes. I think. Uh,
mhm,
there's all these memes about Skull of Satoshi. But the problem is, whenever I type Skull of Satoshi, it gives me all these skulls. So
mhm. You should use Google.
yeah, I thought DuckDuckGo is better. Okay, let's go to Google.
They all fucking take your information and cancel. They
Skull
all do it.
of Satoshi. What is it? Skull of Satoshi meme.
Memes. Yeah, there you go. Use the
Okay.
right.
There's a video on it, man.
Use the right fucking software that actually crawls the internet and snoops on everything.
Mm, look at that. That's the one. Check this
I
out. This
can't
is a
see.
very popular artist.
Hmm.
Give me a sec. Let me click on them. See if it opens. I think because we're streaming, it's really, really slow. We need Jamie, bro. We need Jamie. We need to find another person. There's one here,
Right.
and then
Yeah,
there's
this is
a
all. Honestly, I haven't seen this yet. This is all crypto bro memes.
yeah, yeah, they're all crypto bro memes. But this one here, the quality is so shit, but it looks pretty good. This one, but I don't know why it's not opening. Let's go to Reddit because that is where all the stuff would be.
Oh boy.
Greenpeace, you're a joke.
I have a confession to make.
Yeah.
I've never used Reddit in my life.
Why? Dude, Reddit is the
Uh,
best, man. Like,
uh, all
it's the
right.
best. Yeah, I love it. Yeah.
Okay. I don't know
So
even what it is.
there's a lot of stuff in there.
Too nerdy for me.
The skull memes took all your time away. That's exactly what's happening to us right now. It's like, dude,
I
the
feel it.
Reddit was flooded. Yeah. But
I feel
anyway,
it.
uh,
So what's about? Like I don't. Can you
yeah.
explain to me like I'm a 80-year-old? What's going on?
So, in terms of the story as to what the Greenpeace is doing, or
Like what's this meme? Like I don't get it. Like what's the who 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 ha about this, you know?
well, what has happened is that you have your banking collapse that has happened. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
there's all these people who were basically thinking about, okay, what is my alternative to from saving my wealth and my assets, or my hard-earned money from the banks collapsing. And all of a sudden, Skull of Satoshi comes along. His job from the people who their intent was to make it about exposing climate damage. That's damaging the environment. It's bad for the climate because it's using all this electricity
Like
that,
this happened this week or it's been happening. I think
it
this
just
has been
happened this
happening.
week. It happened
No,
this week.
it's
It
been
happened a couple of
happening. They had this conversation years ago.
no, no, they were having that conversation years ago, but the Skull of Satoshi part happened this week.
Okay.
Right? Last week they basically they unveiled the Skull of Satoshi, which is that one there.
Mm-hmm.
You know. This
Mm-hmm.
one on March 27th, they did that, right? They unveiled it, okay? And when they unveiled it, at the time when the banking collapse is happening, it's the wrong time to come out with this kind of a thing because what it's doing is making people think, hold on a second, is this actually good for me or not? Will it like yes, it might be damaging the environment or whatever, but what has happened is by pointing out that hey, look, Bitcoin, something is wrong with it, you put Bitcoin back on the map. You put into people's attention span. So it created all these memes and everything, and people started talking about it. Like,
You
hold on
know,
a second, what the
can
fuck's
I
going
say
on?
something? I honestly, I think these Redditors
They're
are the
crazy.
most idiotic people out there. Uh,
A lot of lefties,
and
mostly it's the left who
the
sits on the
problem, the
Reddit.
problem is, the problem is when the banking system collapses and you have a shitty idea of cryptocurrency, thinking that oh, cryptos will help you, it's gonna save the world. The real shit that needs the prices needs to go up, and then it actually people go, what the fuck is happening? Is silver, gold.
Hmm,
So
hmm,
what
hmm,
happens is when you make things like this, it takes the attention away for young generation to invest that money into into gold and silver, and they go, no, no, it's Bitcoin is back. Bitcoin is back. It's gonna go up. It's gonna be in a million. They're already talking about it. It will go
hmm,
into millions in 3 months. It's
hmm.
like, guys, you your concept of reality is messed up. It's like going against what? A million and based on what? You're still comparing it to dollars.
Yeah, the idea is
You
in the
get,
future there will be no more dollar, and
but it's not gonna happen.
you'll
It's
not be
not gonna
measuring it in
happen.
dollars. What do you mean
See,
that you mean the US dollar will not collapse? You mean it'll keep going?
I don't think so. This is me. I might be wrong. I'm not saying
No, no. So
I'm
no,
not
okay, no,
I'm
that's
not
fine. So
married to the
why do you,
idea
no, no, no? I know. So what do you think? Why do you think the US dollar for now? Why do you think US dollar will not collapse?
because a lot of people, okay, with
Are in the
influence,
Ponzi? Yeah, the dollar Ponzi. Yeah, yeah.
they
It's
will
like the house
lose a lot of
Ponzi.
money.
Yeah.
They will lose a lot of money. Uh, they will lose a lot of influence, and that would never happen. You will always play this game between the crypto bros, the freedom bros, the gold and silver bros, and fiat bros. The fiat bros got the guns. The fiat bros are probably instigating these skull of Satoshi bullshit. So
No, they
that
are. The guy, the Ripple guy is a fiat bro. Because the, he's a fiat bro. That's why he's using dollars to basically suppress Bitcoin. Right? Yes, he has a Ripple, but his most of his wealth is in dollars. If you think
uh,
about it.
so the thing is, I remember the GameStop psyop. I call it the GameStop psyop. It was bullshit. All these Redditors, like out of nowhere, man, we're gonna fuck the system. Oh, we're gonna win. This is how we get back at these people.
Yeah, I think
Meanwhile, hold on. Meanwhile, there were lockdowns. The same people who were getting back at the system were okay with the mask. They were okay with the vaccine mandates. They were okay with all the tyrannical shit, you know, draconian shit the government was doing, but they wanted to get back at these, you know, this is how you win, man. And everybody had stimulus check. Instead of putting that stimulus check in silver and gold,
they put it these
because
coins. Yeah.
because it was going
Yeah.
up, and exactly when the game, if you look at the chart, don't listen to me. Go look at the chart. Look at the time when the
The money
incline
printer
of
began. Yeah, the markets, everything went up.
is exactly when the GameStop when the GameStop thing came, it started to tank a little bit, and that took, and look at the same time the Bitcoin actually started shooting up from $6,000. This is when it happened. Now, how many people who were in Bitcoin or the crypto bros, how many people are actually rich right now?
The rich ones have sold out. They're all in dollars now. That's the thing.
Because
They
they're
sold.
fucking smart. They're
They
smart.
sold right at the top. Yeah,
So, so
yeah.
I am, I'm, I'm not a crypto bro, uh, but I understand. Like, I would play the game. I want to make money. Who's got the guns? The fiat bros, right?
Yeah,
So,
but there's the thing. You're right about the whole fiat bro situation, right? Now, the
fiat bros.
problem, the people who are in it to make money, people who are in it to double 100x or 10x their money, that is a very small amount of the population. What is actually happening is that every time they print money, which they're still doing it even now, and they'll continue doing so in the future, it's like basically it's like a sugar rush. So it's like heroin. You have this human body with different parts. If you inject it with um, any drug and it starts getting high on it, that entire body now is addicted to that drug, which is basically the printing of money. You print money,
Right.
it allows people to take that money and start businesses, build all these new things on top of it because now it's only this much interest rate. Your interest rate is only this much. You can borrow this much and you have to only pay back this and this together. That's what the claim is. That you only pay back 1%, 2%, or 3%. Back in the day, in the 80s and 90s, they used to have 12%, 18% interest rate in Australia.
No.
It went from
That
18
I,
to,
hey,
yeah,
listen.
now, yeah,
Listen, if you take money from me, and even though I don't take interest, but if you take money from me, you know, because I worked hard, I value my energy.
of course, yeah.
So when I lend you some money, I need a good amount of interest, bitch. You know,
Yeah,
I'm more Jewish
the
than Jews.
yeah, the problem is not interest. The problem is the expansion of money. Whether you have this much interest or you have this much interest, the problem is that you're printing money, you're flooding the economy, giving people all this money, and they're not spending it. There's no control over how they're going to spend it. It's their
Yeah,
money.
but you gotta understand, like they can print money, right? But if the interest rates are high, people will not take that money. You get what I mean?
Correct, correct,
So when they say printing money, is when they print money, they keep the interest rates low. And there are different ways they print the money. So right now,
correct.
what they did with the bank, remember in our previous
Yeah. So
conversation,
yeah,
I
they
was,
printed 300 billion or something
and then you just
in a
give it
day.
to.
Yeah. So the graph went like this, and then suddenly it shot up a little bit. Now it's sitting somewhere here. But
So the interest rates are
that's what I'm
high,
saying. It's on
and
VC.
the interest rates are high. They increased the interest rate last week, and they started giving money out. It's
Correct.
like kind of so instead of so every time they're gonna increase the interest rate, they're gonna keep giving
Printing
out more
money
money
because
to
the banks
who?
will collapse. Yeah.
To who? The question is to who? They're giving money to all the big corporations and all the big players, and they are the ones with all the money at a higher interest rate. They will start giving out money at a higher interest rate to poor peasants like us,
Yeah.
and you can't buy
So
shit.
yeah, but the issue is this, right? Once you give, okay, the way it works, the Ponzi dollar is a Ponzi scheme. Like
Everything is
all the big
Ponzi,
Ponzi schemes,
bro.
the way the dollar works is that you do not want people not to want too much of it, but not to not want it at all either. You see? So
Why?
when you decrease the interest rate, everybody wants it. That's fine. But when you increase the interest rate, people do not want too much. So they want you to still want it, but not too much. They still want you to eat your cereal in the morning. They want you to eat your carbs, but they don't want you to eliminate carbs
So,
altogether. You
so,
understand? That's how the
so
business works.
okay, but I get that, but if the interest rates are high, okay, every every hour you work, okay, increases its own value.
Yeah, but if you're already
Because
on a
the
loan, you'll not be able to pay it back. And when you
why?
collapse, because interest rate is too high. You borrowed,
What do you
if
mean?
you got a house, let's say, man, I'll tell you what's happened. With interest rates, you need to leave it at one place. If you bring it down, if you bring it down, it allows people to borrow more money. I okay, let's say you
So
gave it to me
you
on,
don't own shit, basically.
sorry,
People, okay, when you don't own shit, like you own debt.
yeah, correct,
People own debt.
yeah,
People who don't own shit, like people who actually don't own anything,
debt free, yeah, they're debt free,
like me, I
they're
don't
debt
own
free.
shit.
That's the idea,
So
yeah,
when I work, I get money. My money has value when the
I
interest
save
rate's
it,
high.
correct. You will have, but thing is that eventually somewhere
But
down the line,
most people, because it was free money, they thought, oh, you
they
know
took that
what,
money.
it's okay. The government's gonna keep printing. And the chicken, what is it? The chicken came back to roost,
Yeah,
and now everybody's like, uh-oh, so my lifestyle's gonna change. And now you'll see a political change in the direction that is not gonna be good for anybody because most people will vote for people who want to bring low interest rates.
of
Now, if
course. That's the
and
problem.
when that happens, you know what?
We want
The
the price of things that we want to sell go up. Okay. So if I have a house and I want to sell it, I want to sell it at the maximum fucking value, right? But when I want to buy things, I want the price of it to go down, right? But that's not possible. Either
No, no, it
you
is
can't,
possible.
yeah.
It is possible if you time it right. And
Of
the
course.
people
Yeah, the timing, that's
the
where the
people
gambling comes in. It's gambling. Your timing
the
is gambling.
people the people who are sitting in the sidelines looking at this shit is like, listen, I'm not buying a house. I know this money is free. I
Yeah,
can buy this right now, but because it's free, I'm gonna sit on the sidelines, look what the hell is happening. At
mm,
least I'm not owning debt. When I start owning debt, it becomes a dangerous game for everybody. So most people, they are economically uneducated, okay, historically uneducated, okay, and don't have their own critical thinking, and they follow gurus on
yeah.
YouTube, on TVs, and they just follow people, and also follow people that kind of spew the shit that they want to listen to,
Look, that's all fine. What I'm saying, look, वो तो अपना
and
मन से
that's why
बेच
we
रहे हैं.
are real.
No, that's fine. What I'm saying is that what the yes, it's in bad taste what they're doing, these financial gurus or whatever. But being a capitalist society, they're allowed to do whatever. We need to be
Yeah,
smart in terms of,
like Jim Cramer, do
yeah,
exactly opposite of what
opposite
Jim
of what
Cramer
he's
said.
telling you. Yeah. Now, if you think about it, if I bought a house when the interest rate was at 2%, for example, right? I went out there, fucking bought to the maximum of my limit. Now what's happening is interest rate has gone up. Interest rate went up. So those people who bought at that time when the interest rate was the lowest, right? They overcommitted. And now interest rate goes up. What's going to happen is, right, you have actually gone into a Ponzi scheme with the government. You did not know about it. And it's a
No,
double
no,
layer
you
Ponzi
knew
scheme.
about it.
No,
Everybody knew
no,
about it.
no. Most people, no, I'm not, okay. I got to defend here. Most human population are sheep, bro. They don't know that they're in this Ponzi. You know, when you question the idea of how money is printed, like Henry Ford, right? He said that if people found out how the banking system works, there'll be a revolution tomorrow. That's what he said. So most people do not know that, like you and me, yes, we are now realizing that, but most people do not know. So they went in, they're just hardworking, construction working, like those kind of people, the white collar, blue collar, whatever job they do. They went and they bought a house. Their first house, they saved a lot of money for it, put down a deposit, 10%, 5%,
I
bought a
think the
house.
blue collars are smarter than the white collar ones, but
I
that's
think
another
probably, yes,
conversation.
you're right. You're right about that. Yeah, that's a different conversation. Now, they've gone in, they bought a house at 2%. The rates have now shot up to 5%. So now you have to pay more. But up to a certain point, you can tighten your belt. Every day you tighten your belt because the government is telling you, you need to tighten your belt, you need to save, save, save. So you're doing that, you can go up to a certain point and then you start sacrificing like eating out. You start sacrificing, other things,
Good.
to
Good.
yeah, to basically pay off that mortgage, because the home is where the dream
Yes.
is, right?
Yes.
Now the same thing depends on all these big corporations. Corporations have actually taken money in millions of dollars from the banks and went and bought all these different companies. The merger and acquisition. Because instead of working hard and getting the customer, what they do is they just buy the fucking company, buy the fucking competition, so we don't have to compete. So they went and Google and Microsoft and Apple, I think there was an average where they were buying a company a week, bro. They bought like 50, 60 companies in a year, small and big. They were buying a company a week, and all that money, you think they're using their own reserve? No, they're using the bank's money. So
Yeah,
what
but they
happens
have
is,
so much
as
capital that it doesn't matter.
correct, yeah. So now what happens is, as interest rate goes up, that money that you owe, interest on it goes up. So things start collapsing. They just say, "Oh my, we don't want to be part of the Ponzi." So what happens is that when
But
you
they have capital to back it up. Most people who buy homes like
they
an
don't have
idiot.
capital,
So
dude.
what's gonna happen?
I think the biggest thing is here is nobody's. If people had capital, they would not use the bank.
Yeah, but you
Most
know
people don't
my
have
rule,
capital.
right? You know my rule, Darwinian rule.
Yeah, I know the Darwinian, or the what is it? The other one,
Uh,
when where you say you have to
Darwinian.
contribute, you have to wake, you have to
No,
work.
the
What's the Darwinian
Darwinian.
rule again? Yeah,
It's like you make a mistake,
you
you
pay,
die,
you pay for
and
it. Yeah, yeah.
I sit from the sideline and say, I told you so. Now you suffer. Because most people, if they understood, like if they are not educated, they don't want to learn, right? They need a slap. They need a slap on the face,
A
you
real
know.
life one. Yeah, not a virtual slap. Yeah, a real one.
Unfortunately, I have taken a lot of slaps, so I know how it is. So I'm very Darwinian. I've gone through it, so I'm like, okay, all right, no problem. Okay, you know, I'm gonna be careful with my money. I'm gonna be careful with my investments. I'm always gonna be extra careful and time shit right because okay, so speaking of which, the other thing that's happening in US and Canada and Australia, I'm sure, is that all the big corporations are now saying, "Hey guys, hello, excuse me, recession is coming. Now you have to come to work. If you don't come to work and you do some fucking petition shit, you're gonna be a troublemaker. You're gonna be laid off. And guess who bought this motherfucking expensive house 4 hours away from the fucking city, eh? You. Now, be a good boy, come to work, build a team, work in the corporate, work in the, work together. We need to collaborate. There's no more 6 feet. There's no more mask. There's no more vaccine mandates. You know, you went out and bought a house because you thought this shit's gonna last forever. WEF is gonna win. The WEF's game was this. Hey, listen, this is what's gonna happen. Get out, if you buy a house, we are giving you free money. You take the free money, buy any house you want. You have a cushy job. Your job, your salary will become useless because the amount of money we are giving out for free will make your
Devalued.
salaries
Yeah.
devalued, your real income devalued. So when we call you back, you will come and work like a slave because you have invested. Otherwise, you're gonna lose your house because you lost the job. There are people there are people trying to sell houses now at cheaper than what they bought it at because now the job is saying, hey, listen, come to work. And their homes are like 3 hours away. They can't make 6 hour trips every day to work, right? So now they have to rent in the city, you know,
Yeah.
but they have to go back to the rent. So there's a lot of that's gonna happen as well. So my point is that Hey,
Cash is trash, bro. That's what the motto was last year. And that's why I think a lot of. But the thing is, this when the interest rates are low, cash is becoming trash. Because what is happening is your money is devaluing very fast. When you hold, when if you have $100 in your pocket, over time is devaluing very fast. So basically, the printing of money, right? There's the Bitcoin standard. There's a book, Saifuddin Amos. He's very popular. And anybody who wants to understand what is Bitcoin and wants to start that thing, you read that book or listen to that audiobook. He has a podcast as well. That's where I started. He said that what, when you do money printing anywhere around the world, like Sri Lanka mein hua hai, Turkish lira has gone to fucking 100% of its value.
mm,
When you print money, you turn the normal person who has no idea, who does not use YouTube, is not a social media person, for example, like someone like my dad, or even normal people who just use Facebook. They don't use, or they consume Twitter only from a news point of view. They're not really into it. Normal working class people, they turn into gamblers. Printing of money turns you into a gambler because then you have to constantly look at the market, have to look at the chart going up and down, and then people around you start telling you, hey, you should buy investment property because your money that's sitting in the bank is devaluing. So what is happening is you got this basket of eggs, and all that energy is there, and you really spend a lot of time creating those eggs, and now they're sitting in your hand, and you're trying to figure out, okay, this is so fragile, where can I put it so that tomorrow, 20, 30, 40 years from now, if I come back to it, those eggs are still there for me. They're not stolen by another bird or some fucking vulture or whatever. The only way you can do it is to gamble. You have to become a gambler. You're
yeah,
constantly
the
looking
problem
at
is
crypto and all these things. Yeah.
people need people when they get free capital and are not capitalists, they don't think like capitalists, and then they think like capitalists, but they don't,
They're
and
behaving
then
like
they
a
make
socialist. Yeah.
mistakes. So, for example, there was this meme I saw. It's like a Twitter comment or something. It's like, isn't it weird that students are given 200,000 in loan to do college, but if the same person goes out and says, "Hey, can I get 20,000 for a business?" the bank doesn't give them money.
Yeah.
So
It is weird.
the banks are willing to give you $200,000 to go to college, but they are not
Do
willing
some
to give
shitty
you 20,
humanities course.
and they are not giving you $20,000 to start a small business when you are healthy, you have a lot of time on your hand, you don't have a family, you can work your ass off, you can build ideas, you can learn new shit, be practical. So I was also what's funny is this movie Everything Everywhere All at Once. All the VFX was done by people who never went to school for VFX.
Hmm.
They
True.
learned
Most
all
of the
the
industry is
VFX
that.
shit.
Yeah. Themselves.
So this idea of when people get free money, I take free money, you know, knowing I have that much money in the account. When shit hits the fan, I can pay. You get what I mean? If you don't
Hmm.
have capital and then you take free money, then you're doing something stupid. All these big corporations, when they take money to buy and acquire shit, but that's free money, they even do buybacks. They actually buy their own stocks back
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
they get it cheap, right?
Correct.
So they buy themselves over with the same money. Uh, but they have educated finance team, you know, which risk management team. They calculate shit. They've
That's something a
gone
normal
to
person
college.
can't do that. So that's
Yeah, but
why the
but the
idea is that you
normal
should be able to
person
buy
needs to
gold,
be like
silver.
a
Yeah.
normal person should be a fucking normal person. Do your fucking job. Do one job. Save that money, even if it's losing value. Save that money. Invest in your life. You know, go for a vacation. Go to some poor country. Spend a lot of money. Increase the economy. Do some charity in your neighborhood. You know, people are greedy as fuck, and they are not capitalists, and they want easy way to make extra passive income. And then when they start doing that stuff, and then they realize that, oh, you mean real estate investing and renting is not
Yeah.
as passive as I thought? Hell yeah, it isn't. So you went out and bought four, five houses. So now you took the liberty of other humans, families, actually owning a house. Like what the hell? So there's a moral dilemma there, and if these people suffer, I'm not gonna feel bad for them, to be honest, because I'm not that person. Like, I don't buy stuff. I buy stuff and I do rent stuff, but it is not at the predicament of somebody's life.
Mhm.
When these idiots go out with all that free money buying homes and then thinking that they can, build equity, they're actually taking away from other people's opportunities, other other people who are less fortunate opportunities to own homes, just having shelter. The fact that somebody has shelter. So now they become debt slaves themselves. They make other people debt slaves, you know, because now the other people have to basically keep working and pay a rent to the landlord
Especially the
who is
ones
paying.
when they can't find any proper rent in I mean, as you're saying, turning other people into debt slaves. Slaves, but without debt. It's just a weird kind of way to be, right? In sense that at least the person who's in debt for a while, for a small time, they can feel that they own something. There's another kind of slavery, which is you own nothing, which is coming by the way soon. You'll own nothing
Yeah.
and you'll be happy. But at the moment, they're not happy, but they own nothing either. And in
Mhm.
Australia, what's happening is that यहाँ घर इतने महंगे हो गए हैं and there is no houses to buy in the first place in a lot of suburbs.
Because
So
they're
people are
making hard to
renting
make them.
and they're increasing immigration. So what is the thoughts on that actually? I was listening to Sky News the other day and they said that because they're opening up immigration, more people are coming in, there's not enough houses.
Yeah, you should leave that country.
Don't come here, fuck off, right? Yeah, and
No, not just that. Honestly, if they increase immigration,
yeah.
you leave that country because it doesn't make sense. You like when you know it's gonna become shitty, there are
But
not
go
enough
where, bro?
homes.
Go where?
Go
That's the
where?
problem.
Go where? Go to a fucking sell your house to some dumb immigrant at a high price. Take all that fiat money,
Yeah.
okay? Okay. Put some in gold, put some in crypto. Go buy some cheap property somewhere. Build your own fucking house. Build your own, like,
Move into
make
the
your own food.
mountains.
Yeah, why
Get
not?
a hunting rifle.
Why
Buy a
not?
marsh.
If 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 you own a house, if you flip it, you make $1 million on it, dude. $1 million in your
You're telling
pocket
you're
with a
telling
stack.
me you're telling me how to be part of the Ponzi scheme. How to
No, no, no. To get
buy
to
low, sell
know
high.
No, to know when to get out before the house wants everything you own. You get what I mean?
That's it.
If you're
Yeah, the whole
playing
thing
the
is a
game, when
casino.
you get,
Yeah.
yeah, so it's like when you win, shut the fuck up and leave. Don't look at that girl who's like, oh, I think you can make more. Don't look at that girl. She's paid by the house.
Yeah.
Okay? Don't don't worry. If they give you a free hotel room, don't live in that. Like, listen, I'm too busy for this shit. Gi- Give me my money. Give me give me my winnings. I'm getting the fuck out of Vegas because that's it. So I think if people think that way, it will be amazing. But I don't know. People are idiots.
Last thing I want to talk about was today was I think I don't know whether we should end it on a serious note or not, but
Oh my God.
um, well,
Everything is serious.
There's the Nashville shooting, and then there's the Tesla
Ooh.
safety score. So I want to talk about the Tesla safety score as well.
Excuse me.
But before we go there, maybe talk a bit about the whole Nashville thing. So I followed it quite a bit. Um, I looked at the videos and stuff like that. So
What?
do you think Biden now has, I mean, it was weird, bro. Biden walked up to talk about it, and he was talking about ice cream and beautiful children sitting in the aisle. Have you seen that video? It's like doesn't
I'm
make sense.
keeping myself away from all this.
The guy is on drugs, bro. Something is. I mean, yeah, he's on some cocaine or whatever steroid they're giving him. Before they prop him up in front of the press. Maybe they gave him too much. He forgot what he was supposed to talk about, or he needs to stick to a script. Apart from that, the shooting, right? So you think I'm not talking about the event. I'm talking about the impact of the event in the sense that now Biden is going to basically ride on that horse, saying that we need to make that change. But do you think the election or anything will change anything? The shootings will continue,
Uh,
or
I fuck would I wouldn't personally. I don't know. It's been interesting. Um, I saw it and I was like, okay, that's interesting, and it's pretty sad what happened
mm,
to
mm,
the children.
the children?
Um,
Yeah.
and yeah,
But a
and the
surprise
fact
how the
that
cops got in and how they were checking every corner and everything. I mean, pretty. I
ah,
mean,
but you can
yeah.
talk about the conspiracy behind it.
What is yeah? But what's the conspiracy behind it? The
So
video that
apparently,
was released.
yeah, so in the video, the first video that was released of that person entering, so there was a shoe that was different from the video after the person gets shot. So this you can check it, right? Shoes, um, Nashville shooter, shoes, conspiracy. So the person enters with an Adidas sneaker, and when the person gets shot, it's a Vans.
Well, it's gone mainstream. I mean, France 24 is now talking about the shoes, so it can't be that much of a conspiracy
Really?
anymore now. Yeah,
Really?
well, yeah. Let me check.
Oh my God! Shit!
Yeah.
I don't know shit, man.
Conspiracy,
It's
Nashville school shooting. Conspiracy theories emerge on shooter shoes.
oh boy.
So, was Nash Shooter's body wearing different shoes? Let's have a look.
Yeah, you gotta click on it's it's the one that you were clicking on initially. Go up.
This one here.
The France 24 one. Fact check. Oh, you want to fact
They
check
will
it?
say
Okay.
they will say it's fake though.
They don't even show it.
However, only hours of the footage was released. Conspiracy theories blossom, suggesting that shooters were in different footwear, different stages of the attack. Okay, all
Okay,
right.
where's the footwear?
Let's
Why
let's
can't
let's
you
look at
see
the
it?
video. Let's look at the video.
No, don't look at it. Look at this. Yeah.
No?
Yeah, this one. It's much more clear.
Oh, fuck off.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, I accept it, mate. Fuck off.
Uh, you're giving away everything. Oh, you gotta see that too. Where's the sound?
Daily fact checking segment.
Oh, what? Okay, let's see what they say. Why can't I hear shit?
You can't hear anything?
No, it's okay.
Well, they're saying that Pumas was going in and Vans going out.
There you go. Well, you know,
Basically, just look at that. She's wearing the Vans.
yeah.
Okay. And look at that. That's Vans.
Wow. It's on France 24.
So look at the
I
amount of
just,
fucking. Yeah, look at
what?
that.
I knew about this in the morning, by the way. It was like almost like 20 hours
Well,
ago.
they're saying that it's fake news. It's not real. He's wearing fans throughout.
Okay.
That's what they're saying. So
All right.
I don't know. I think
Well.
Well, it's like what they say in that Robert De Niro movie: when there's a doubt, there is no doubt. There's this movie, what is it? Ronin. Ronin. He says that in Ronin, that if there is a doubt, there is no doubt. So, um,
Mm. Yeah.
oh yeah, bro. Look at that.
Look at this Reddit shit.
Well,
It looks like
if you, if you,
it's millions of eyes are on this. You know that, right?
yeah, look at that. Look at that.
So
It is
that's
different.
advanced, right? No, after this person gets
Yeah,
shot.
it's a different, completely different show. Yeah. The fuck? Yeah, but these twos are different though. What's the first comment? Yeah, I'd say they look a bit
You
different.
should not believe your own eyes, Omar.
It clearly shows they are different shoes. The ones in the left from the security cam shows a white box from the trim to the laces. The ones in the right from the body cam show a pattern which clearly does not span from trim to the laces. So if you look at all the, you got that there, and then yeah, bro, it's different. Look at that, it's completely different. Look at that. Look at that photo there. It's different compared to, yeah, these two here. They are same. Okay.
Hmm. And
And then
after
if you look
the
at the,
person,
and these, no, these are the ones that are different. I mean, if you look at this shoe here,
uh,
it is different from this shoe. You can say, look at that.
no, it looks the same.
Now the stripes are different. Something's, or maybe it's the
No,
lighting or something.
it's the last one. Check the last one. When this person gets shot.
This one, the last one is obviously very different. No, but they're saying
Yeah.
even here it's different.
Okay,
But
I
this
don't
one
know.
is a completely different shoe. Yeah. Far out, man.
There you go. You wanted to talk about it. Here's a new one.
I
So,
didn't even know
what do
this,
you
man.
think?
You news to me, man. What you just told me.
Fucking memes, dude.
I mean,
I'm telling you. You
like
should get on the meme news channel.
the meme news channel. Um,
Yeah, it's crazy. And also, this person
yeah.
chose a gun-free zone.
I mean, think about mass killers. There's a Reddit for it.
Of course.
Far out, man. There's a Reddit for everything. Yeah, I think he's the guy who shot the fella. I think
Yep.
those are the kids.
So
Where's the
sad.
crime scene photos? No photos. That this guy here? Yeah, he's the one who shot.
No, the people who passed away.
I think
These
three are
people.
teachers or people who were at the thing, and three
Yeah.
kids.
Yeah.
Sad. School custodian.
Yeah.
What is the solution, man? What is the solution
Mm.
to stopping all of this? Another thing I
Everybody
want,
should carry.
firearms.
You gotta listen to Ice-T.
I'll listen to him. All right, bro. Check this out.
What is this?
This is the last bit before we log off. The Tesla safety score beta. Okay,
Sure.
check it out.
Hmm.
The safety core
Is the
beta is an assessment of your driving behavior based on several metrics
hmm
called safety factors. These are combined to estimate the likelihood that your driving could result in a future collision. We combine your
Minority
daily
Report.
safety score. Yeah. we combine your daily safety score up to 30 days of
They
data
have this in they
in
have this in
Teslas.
Canada. No, they
Yeah,
have
yeah.
this in Canada for a long time,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
and
But now
it's
they come up
it's
with a new version though. So version
Yeah, but this
2.0.
is not for Tesla. What the one
Okay,
I'm talking about is buy an insurance company to say, hey, listen, if you download this app, you will pay less insurance, but the app will track your car speeds, your driving, and everything.
everything. Yeah, it's like it's a trade-off. It added excessive
Oh boy.
speeding as a safety factor, unbuckled driving.
Hmm.
Okay,
I
late
don't
night
know. I don't.
driving. I think late night driving after 10. I think 10 p.m. to 4 p.m. Okay, hard brake safety factor. So bro, they are looking at everything. Like they are looking at aggressive turning. Are you doing unsafe following? You're driving too close to someone, which is good. I can understand that. It's but the problem is that the data is being
Oh my.
collected, and it's not your data. I mean, it's collecting your behavior, excessive speeding, and all that. I can understand, but like unbuckled driving, come on, man. I drive all the time unbuckled. What are you talking about? My
Oh,
other car that I have, I'm always without a seat belt, bro. That's my modus operandi, man. That's how I go. That's how I'm flying. When I'm flying through, like, to get some groceries or whatever, like, fuck that. Plus, I'm getting so fat. So, I mean, what's the point of putting a seatbelt on? Like, it's like, who cares, right? Like, if I'm going to go, I'm going to go, man. Like, why are you so worried
yeah,
about
but
trying to
but you're
save
gonna
me?
make but you're gonna make the insurance company pay a lot of money.
Yeah, that's the problem, isn't it? So, we need to fix that.
They don't like that.
Yeah, they don't like they don't want me to die. They just want me to continue paying for the next 30 years. That's what they want me to do, right? Yeah. Be a
Uh,
good paying customer. All
uh,
right. On that note, gonna call it a day. Got
all right.
other, you know, real life, back to reality, I guess, other reality based shit that I need to do,
Oh,
as a
good.
slave to the system. I need to go do my
Uh,
slave shit. So I
oh,
can
nice.
continue paying for shit that I don't need, you know,
And own.
and
You're
own.
a debt. You're a debt owner.
I'm a debt owner. I own, at least I get to own something, Asif, at least I own something, right?
So Klaus was wrong. You will own debt, and you will be happy.
I'll be happy. Yeah. All right, bro. See ya.
Okay. All right, man.